here was the plan we had worked on during the previous year. A trip along the Colorado Backcountry Discovery Route, 675 miles from Four Corners to the border with Wyoming. However, Mother Nature would intervene with significant forest fires and access closures throughout the state. Within the span of 2 weeks, Matt would expeditiously cobble together a new plan to lead us through lesser traveled areas of Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. It would start with Matt from Arizona and me meeting in Hanksville, Utah, and then departing for the Ashley National Forest the next morning. A couple days later, in Idaho, we'd pick up 2 more adventurers, Tad and Dean from Oregon. However, a new forest fire brought across our recently revised path would challenge our route-finding abilities.
Which is in effect from noon Monday to midnight MDT Tuesday night.
You must have seen the weather warnings I sent you about fires and wind and so on.
I did see the weather warnings, and then late last night we found out that there's actually a wildfire burning in part of the area we were going to be going through. So instead of going up here by Strawberry Reservoir like we were going to go, I think we will break off here on 191, take it up to Duchesne, and camp a little before the break.
That's a little disappointing, but we've got to do what we do. I mean, we're here in Utah because Colorado was on fire. That's where I was supposed to be this week.
And now Utah's on fire.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 1 of Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming Ramble. This morning, Matt and I have joined up in Hanksville, Utah, and we are headed up north to spend some time in the national forest area up there. Although it's gorgeous out right now, today has some warnings about possibility of wind that could cause fires. There is a fire going up in the area that we plan on traveling through, so we'll be staying attuned to that and probably end up with a slightly modified route because of that.
How did it happen over there? Jeez, I wonder what we're going to be driving into.
Yeah, there might be quite a bit of smoke down here in the valleys and stuff. Have I told you about I'm using Mobile Atlas Creator now to create the maps for use on the trips?
No, instead of Backcountry Navigator?
Right. Mobile Atlas Creator will create a map that's usable by Backcountry Navigator. And it's so much easier. I do it on my desktop. In about 10 or 15 minutes, I had the area that I needed for the map marked, and I just closed it and downloaded it. It took a couple hours to download it.
What are you working on here?
Well, the CB radio lost power, but it appears to actually be a wiring problem back behind here where I've wired it in. I'm going to put a temporary fix on here, so ran inside, bought a couple of quick parts.
Okay, so you think you've got this fixed?
Yeah, just I'm going to crimp this on here. I think that'll do the job.
Interesting clouds over there at 9 o'clock.
Almost looks like a thunder building up, doesn't it? I was having a problem with my CB radio, and so I got up beside Matt and gave him a thumbs down and pointing at my handset. So I put a temporary repair on it. Looks like I'm good to go again. After a stretch of pavement driving along the Book Cliffs, and while noting the smoke-filled valleys to the north, we'd head out through East Carbon, Utah. A gentle drive through Water Canyon led us to a steep series of switchbacks, crossing Patmos Ridge at Bruin Point. From there, we drive along the tops of ridges before descending into 9 Mile Canyon. Well, that's kind of interesting tire deflator you got there, Matt.
They are JT Brooks Pros, and you can dial in the exact pressure you want.
Matt and I noticed some mining apparatus here, probably for hauling mining extract, or maybe ore, to take to a processing facility somewhere.
Look up above at 12 and 1 o'clock, and then those baskets are clearing stuff over the road. God, those are high.
That is way up there.
So that mining apparatus there, what was that, 9 o'clock?
Stopped at this part of this mining apparatus here. It goes off in the distance here. There it is, up above the Jeep.
spectacle switchbacks.
Yeah, they are. It's nice that the road is so smooth, because they would be pretty serious as well. I'm stopped ahead of you. I'm stopped.
Here we are at the top of the Bruin Point switchbacks. So that's the valley. We were down in the bottom of that, and we came up a very steep ascent, and it was an attention getter. So you think that's the fire over there, huh?
I do. I think that is the wildfire that we've been trying to avoid.
Quite a breeze.
Yeah, I was noticing that. Bad fire weather.
Yeah, when an area opens to mining, the people who are doing that are more interested in the commercial aspects of it, not the fun of driving a rough dirt road.
Think about how much more beautiful this would be if this were dirt. Yeah, this is really it'll be fun to stop and take some pictures.
Expected to bring critical fire weather conditions to portions of southern and central Utah this afternoon and evening. And now the extended outlook for the period Tuesday through Monday. Winds will increase further on Tuesday and combine with low humidities to bring more widespread critical fire weather conditions to the area through Tuesday evening.
Oh my God, I'm not sure we should camp here.
There's the area of the fire that has been of concern. There's a family camped up here. We talked to them, and they said the fire is not projected to come out this direction at all. After talking to a family that had been camped there for several days, we decided that it would be safe to remain. However, we spent that evening with a close eye on the distant horizon, mesmerized by the faint glow of the fires illuminating the smoky plume. Tomorrow we'd have to reroute around the emergency area, but planning that could wait until the morning.